In a previous presentation available on this channel, we have had an introduction to the background and history of action research. In the current presentation, we will briefly discuss the what and how of action research. So, what is action research and what is the general process of action research? These are the questions that we will respond to in this presentation. Well, action research, as I have already discussed in a previous presentation in more detail, which is available on this channel. Action research basically is a combination of the two words action and research. And this actually means research in action. And the concept of action research is traced back to the work of Kurt Lewin, who was an American psychologist. And he called action research change experiment in social situations. The focus of action research basically is not the development of a theory, but change in practice is actually the aim or the focus of research rather than theoretical and bookish knowledge. So as we know that generally research is aimed at the development of theory and knowledge in particular fields, but action research is focused on change in practice in order to improve practice. So we can also say that action research is research in action by actors or practitioners. So action research is also called practitioner-based research, and the aim of this particular practical type of research is understanding and improving action or practice. Generally, this kind of research is based on collaboration between researchers and participants in social situations. And so social situations have a variety, there are a variety of situations that are related to social phenomena, and so we call those social situations. Now, the focus of this particular presentation is on the how of action research, or what is the general process of action research. The general process of action research revolves around these four main stages or steps that take place in a cyclic process. The first one is planning, and then this is followed by action and observation and reflection. And as we know that it's a cyclic reiterative process, so reflection can again lead to further planning and action and observation, and so on till the practice is improved or till the action takes place in real meaningful sense. So the planning part of it actually is like thinking about and focusing the research problem or issue that actually comes while one is in practice or in field. This planning is then followed by action, which actually means that bringing the change in the activities that have been that are being conducted. The action then is followed by observations, and observations then lead to reflections on the results of the particular intervention or action. And so reflection, the last part, helps the researcher in making decision whether to go for further planning and action and observation or to stop. In several cases, there are more than one cycles that happen during the action process till the desired results, that is improvement in the practice, is achieved. Now, the how, we can give an example of the practice of action research, or the how of action research. So the planning part of the action research, in this case, for example, could be aimed at improving classroom teaching effectiveness. So let's say a teacher, as an action practitioner or as an action researcher, wants to improve their classroom teaching effectiveness. Perhaps they have come to know that their classroom teaching practice is not very effective, as is reflected in the results of the students. So this is basically the aim, and so they are planning this particular action research project in order to bring in improvement in the practical classroom teaching effectiveness. The action part of it will partly be based on change in classroom teaching structure or methods or evaluations. So maybe there are issues in the classroom teaching, there are issues in the structure, the particular structure in which the teaching learning is taking place inside the classroom, or the teaching methods, or maybe there are issues in the evaluation methods. So the focus could be one or more of these sub elements of the classroom teaching. And so the action researcher will take action by changing one or all of these practices in a classroom situation. This is then followed by observation, which is recording possible change in students' learning, because the aim basically is improving teaching effectiveness, and a reflection of teaching effectiveness is actually in students through students' learning. So the researchers will record possible changes in the students' learning, which will reflect classroom effectiveness. So keeping in view the level of change or the level of effectiveness after the intervention that is actually done in the action part of the action research project, there will be finally a reflection stage where there will be evaluation or revision of the intervention or changes, keeping in view the results of the action during the observation process. So reflection will tell the action researcher to once again reiterate the cycle, to once again go through planning and action and observation, and again the reflection, or to stop. So in many cases, in several cases, there will be more than one cycles of the planning, action, observation, and reflection that are generally involved in the action research project to ultimately lead to the improvement in the teaching, in the classroom teaching, or the effectiveness, or to actually locate and improve the effectiveness of the classroom teaching. So as you can see, that to summarize, the focus of action research is basically not on the development of theory or theoretical knowledge, but actually the focus is on improving practical teaching learning skills in this case. And so you can actually transfer this kind of cyclic action research process to other fields of the social life, such as so action research can be used by practitioners in the health sector, in law, or in other fields of the society. So this is an example, a simple example, through which we can understand the basic philosophy of action research and then the general simple process of action research.